Hello, welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, Indigenous leaders pleased with results of NTC conference. The NTC wants the EPA to boost its hinterland presence, contracts to boost outlying areas waste management signed, and hinterland medical facilities could soon double as emergency shelters. Stay tuned for the details of these and more. It was the National Two Shows Council's conference's third day, and the Indigenous leaders in attendance summed up the sessions for InfoHub. Tiffany Rogers has more.
The NTC's treasurer, Nicholas Frederick, said the body now has more control in the hosting of the conference.
Before, the NTC was manipulated as a political tool. I know that. Where they were not allowed to speak out. The minister was the one who was mostly controlled the NTC. But this time, we managed to break away from that control.
The conferences, he added, have evolved over the years. According to other Indigenous leaders, the information coming out of the conference has been very educational.
I have learned much about the things that where gas and oil is concerned, and some firearms amnesty.
The RISE presentation, I think, for the constitutional reform, I think it's something really good. If we as Indigenous people can contribute towards the whole development of these constitutions and bylaws and stuff like that, would put us in a better position in this country to make proper representation of our Indigenous people's rights.
Other Two Shows said they are looking forward to having their issues addressed.
So far, there is much need to be done, much negotiations need to be done with the government, the ministers responsible for various ministries.
Ministers began meeting with the Two Shows today to address their concerns. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Indigenous leaders want the Environmental Protection Agency to increase its presence in hinterland communities. Seneca Thorne has this report.
The call was made by Two Shows during the third day of the NTC conference. The Indigenous leaders spoke of environmental issues affecting areas such as Murudi, the Upper Masaruni, and Barometer. EPA's Executive Director, Kemraj Parshram, explained that historically, the EPA, through an MOU, delegated its responsibilities to the GDMC. Over the past year, the EPA has made efforts to improve its capacity, and offices will be established in Lethem, Region 9 and Region 6.
With that in mind, we are making the efforts to have a greater oversight or to take back control of the environment with regards to mining and forestry. Of course, we will do it in partnership as well, but we are looking to ensure that we take and play a stronger role going forward.
Parshram said that over the past years, the EPA has been responding to the complaints of hinterland communities regarding the negative impacts of mercury usage. The Ministry of Natural Resources is collaborating with the UNDP to develop a plan for the phasing out of the use of mercury.
While that is being done, the EPA, and in fact I have Ms. Felicia Adams here with me, who's the Senior Environmental Officer in the reorganized structure of the EPA, heading the Water Quality Program. And we have in our plan 2017 and going forward, particular key river ecosystems that we're monitoring ourselves and looking at various contaminants, mercury and turbidity, for example. Those are key issues.
EPA is also in the process of identifying hotspot areas for monitoring. Parshram stated that the EPA is willing to meet with the NTC to discuss these issues and together formulate a plan to address their concern. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
Jolla residents will cooperate as they receive help to rebuild after a freak storm which struck the village last Friday. Delicia Haynes has more.
Carmeline and Zalifa Jordan and their father, Gilbert Jordan, are still coming to grips with the loss of their mother and wife. 27-year-old Marsha Jordan died after their home collapsed during a storm. Ministers Valerie Garrido Lowe and Dawn Hastings Williams visited the family on Monday to see how the family could be assisted. The minister suggested that a new home be constructed for the family as the rebuilding process in the community is underway.
It would be a good thing if the men of the community come together, saw boards, and let us build a new house for Mr. Gilbert Jordan and his daughters. I see the little girls have been injured, so I'm only hoping that it's not serious. But I can tell you, one look at Mr. Jordan, he is in terrible grief.
The children who sustained minor injuries will be continually monitored by the village and district doctors in the event of serious after effects as a result of the incident. The Civil Defense Commission is already on the ground, bringing relief to residents in several ways.
Friday evening, I got a call informing me of the incident here, and immediately I started to do my checks, calling people around the place, and we did confirm the incident, and we started to our preparatory work and thus this mission. Well, what we will be doing is, as best as possible, trying to bring some amount of relief to those persons who were affected.
The minister is committed to personally assisting by participating in tangible works such as painting and contributing materials.
I'm counting on you to shout, to lead here, to get the board sewn, cured, and when it is time to build another building, Major Welcome and his army staff will be here with their skills to help. I can tell you I will be here to help paint, and I am willing to donate some louvers for the windows. I'm sure Minister Dawn will be here doing her part.
According to villagers, on Friday afternoon between the hours of 3 and 4 p.m., a thunderstorm with strong winds struck the Region 7 community. This resulted in the destruction of more than 30 buildings and one fatality. Delicia Haynes for InfoHub.
Delicia joins us once again to tell us that the Public Health Ministry is exploring the possibility of using hinterland health facilities as temporary shelters in the event of a natural disaster.
Chief Medical Officer of the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Shamdeo Prasad, explained that proposed measures can eliminate the possibility of death and injuries in the event of a storm or other similar types of disasters in hinterland areas.
I would like to propose, like all our health facilities also be a place where people could shelter. Even if there is some prediction, and Major Welcome, we could start working on that too, to try to start predicting when these events will happen and try to move vulnerable people to some safe place like our health facility.
The ministry is prepared to work with the Civil Defense Commission in developing health facilities in far-flung hinterland areas as safe zones for residents.
Far as possible for our interests in health and to try to prevent people from being injured, harmed, or die, as in this case. We would like to ensure that the structures, the system, everything in place would lend some protection.
The Ministry of Public Health recently assisted the village of Jolla by contributing cleaning agents and other items. The distribution of supplies is intended to assist residents in recovery process after a recent freak storm which left one person dead and several injured.
The Ministry of Communities on Tuesday signed 3 contracts totaling $125 million as part of its efforts to bolster the solid waste disposal program in outlying regions. Sunil Williams tells us more.
The contracts will cover the design of sanitary landfills at Bartica, Linden, and Madia, which includes waste profile studies and recommendations of resource recovery and recycling programs. These should be completed in 8 months, according to Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan.
The health, safety, and well-being of our citizens and residents of various communities is something that is taken quite seriously by the administration. and it's of paramount importance to the administration.
The landfill design would incorporate site topographic surveys, site access, security, waste disposal and file management, leachate management, landfill gas management, operations, and maintenance manuals, among other areas. It will also involve design drawings, bills of quantities, and estimates for site construction and bidding document preparation. The designs and bidding documents are expected to be completed by the first quarter of 2018, and bidding will commence shortly after. Municipal officials thank the ministry for its continued support in emphasizing on the importance of proper solid waste management.
We see it as a next step towards the development not only of Bartica but all of our new towns. We have struggled over the last decade with waste management. But I'm happy to report here today that over the last 2 years, we would have seen significant improvement where waste management is concerned, especially in the township of Bartica.
The longest journey must begin with the first step. And so we are grateful on behalf of Linden and the municipality for the Ministry of Community for taking this step. We've had issues over the years, as we say, in our dumping and not necessarily our landfill sites. And so we are grateful to have this initiative. We do know it's the initial stage, but we are thankful for this first step.
This is one of the many initiatives undertaken by the ministry in keeping with the government's green economy agenda. Zanil Williams for InfoHub.
The Prime Minister received a special visit from Miss World Guyana, Vina Mukram, today. Crystal Stoll has more.
Prime Minister Moses Nagamudu said he admired the recently crowned Miss World Guyana's platform. He urged her to encourage others to change their lifestyles in terms of eating habits.
In Guyana, a lot of people don't treat it as a kind of a regular disease. Mm-hmm. They, first of all, you have a tendency to hide that diabetes is it's a bad word. Yeah, it is. And people feel that you shouldn't tell people. I think that it's part of the sensitization that you need to do, that there is nothing wrong in saying you do your blood work, and it says that you are diabetic or you're pre-diabetic.
The Prime Minister reiterated that persons diagnosed with diabetes should not be ashamed of their health status. He noted that diabetes can be treated and controlled. Mukram expressed her gratitude towards the minister for her support. Miss World's platform focuses on developing a healthy diet in terms of creating a healthy cookbook and physical lifestyle.
Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye now.